Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to Bunny Cat's Oracle. And if you aren't new here, welcome back. If you are new here, it's great to have you. I'm going to be doing your October 2020 general tarot reading for this month. I apologize, I'm a few days late with these. As usual, before I start the reading, I like to light a candle for you, and I'm going to say a prayer for everyone who clicked on this video today. I pray that you're happy, that you're healthy, that all your best wishes are coming true, and most importantly, that you and your loved ones are safe and protected during this time. Okay, I'm just going to move this candle aside so I can get started with your cards. I'm going to be doing a rainbow spread today that I kind of just made up. And if you don't want to sit through all the shuffling with me, that's fine. You can click on the timestamp, which I will put below in the description box, and then we'll take you right to the start of the reading, and I will not be offended. For those who enjoy the shuffling, then feel free to stick around. All right, what messages do we have for Capricorn for October 2020? What does Capricorn need to hear for this month, October 2020? What do we got? For my mountain goats? Is that what you guys are? Mountain goats? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just stretch that out a bit. Okay, the top line will be from the cat tarot, because we could all use a little more cat therapy. And it's October. I'm going to bring out my kitty cats. This is Bunny Cat's Oracle after all. The middle line will be these unicorn cards from my bicycle playing deck, which I'm loving. All right, what do we have for Capricorn, October 2020? Hey, I just saw the Ace of Diamonds trying to come out there. Maybe somebody will present you with a ring. Or a new business idea. Who knows? What do we got for Capricorn? October 2020. What do my caps need to hear? Are they mountain goats? Are they mountain goats? Is that what they are? I think they're goats. But I think Aries is also a goat. So a ram? It's like a different kind of goat, maybe? I don't know. Maybe you don't like being called goats, but I love goats. They're so intelligent. I actually lived on a goat farm when I was younger. Fun fact. Some of you are up to something sneaky. I just saw the 7 of Swords. 3 of Diamonds. Very creative. Creative vibes here. Creative business vibes. Yes. Okay. We're just going to get down to it. Enough of the flying cards. This deck has a lot to say. Okay, let's see what this is all about. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, I gotta make my rainbow pretty, and I'm gonna turn these guys up right. I'm not taking any reversals with the playing cards. I mean, some people do read reversals, but I'm just not gonna bother with it. I think there are enough cards in the deck that we don't need to do the reversals. Okay. And for the bottom line, I will be using my Alice in Wonderland deck. All right, what do we got for Capricorn for October 2020? Page of Oysters. You guys have this businessy, entrepreneurial vibe going, like you're working really hard, like harder than ever. I wonder, well, that wouldn't surprise me. You are the Capricorns. I need to stop stereotyping by astrology sign. But you know it's true. What do we got for Capricorn? October 2020. This will be my last shuffle here. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I need more space. Okay. So, my dear Capricorn friends, what I'm going to be looking at today is your present energy, your recent past influences or events that are still affecting you this month, your motivations, your near future energy, what's coming in for you, and also we're going to look at some advice over here. Okay, so let's take a look behind door number 1. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Ooh. And upright, we have the King of Diamonds. We have the 8 of Swords. Somebody is really focused on their money. And it seems like a change of fate. I mean, it's upright, so it feels like it's good. You know, it feels like you're coming into a position where you're actually feeling really good about your fortune, so to speak. I say you're focused on your money because you've got the King of Diamonds here. So this is, it's a male energy, but it can absolutely apply to a female as well if you're kind of in that male vibe where you're feeling like a provider, you're feeling generous. You may be running your own business. I definitely got that vibe when I was shuffling, that a lot of you may be business owners or maybe working in management in some way. There is an Eight of Swords energy here, and it's funny because I feel like every reading I've done so far this month, the Eight of Swords showed up, and so I get the sense it's kind of like a universal energy that we're dealing with right now. It's somebody who feels like they're trapped, like they're not actually trapped, but they just feel kind of trapped. And I feel like that has to do with the pandemic and the lockdowns and, you know, everyone feeling like, okay, I want to travel, but then I'm like, I can't, or, you know, I want to go see my friends, but I can't. And the thing is, a lot of the things that you think you want to do that you can't, you probably still can in some modified way. Maybe you can't go on that European cruise you wanted to go on, but maybe there is a really nice bed and breakfast that's, you know, not too far from your home that you could go visit, you know, safely. Or maybe you can have some sort of staycation at home, right? You can still visit your friends if you do so in a socially distanced way and you wear masks, and you can go for a walk together in the park. I wonder if you guys can hear that scratching in the background. My house is not on fire. It sounds like it. This is my cat scratching up my exercise mats. They're so naughty. They just can't help themselves. They have scratching posts, but they just love the gymnastics mats. But anyway, so the vibe I'm getting for the present here for this month is somebody that's really focused on their money but really like doing well. Like it is really positive, incredibly positive omen with the Wheel of Fortune and with the King of Diamonds. But you're definitely feeling restricted. You're feeling trapped. You're feeling like you can't move forward on certain things you want to do. And the Eight of Swords tells me, you know, it's not as bad as you think it is. It's just, and it's temporary, you know. Swords energy is about your thoughts. So it's not that it's all in your head. I mean, obviously, a lot of the restrictions we're subject to are not in your head. They are real, but they're only as limiting as you make them. I mean, you can still make your own fun. You just have to be safe about it, right? So don't be too worried about that. It seems really positive this month. I'm looking at your recent past right here. We got the Seven of Hearts. We've got the Four of Wands, and we've got the Temperance card. So, wow. Some of you may have actually recently gotten married or come into a bigger commitment, like romantically. With the Four of Wands, often shows up when somebody gets married. It's also a card of promotion, of leveling up, of coming to like a new place in your career or being seen differently in your community. Like you could have been graduating. Some of you could have just maybe graduated from a program. Like it feels like a level up. It feels really lucky. It's a really wonderful card. A lot of readers call this the 1111 card because you've got like two wands over here, two wands over here. And the idea is that you pass through this magical 1111 portal and your life is changed on the other side. So recently you've had some sort of come up moment. And again, it could be a marriage because there's, you know, we see two people here going under the awning, but we don't. We actually just see two cats really enjoying themselves. So maybe you are really enjoying yourself with a new partner. There's some sort of new commitment, or it's like a promotion. It's a new position at work or in your business, but it is very, very positive. And I see the cats taking the time to stop and eat or smell the plants, scratch the scratching posts, really enjoy the moment. They're really actually not in a hurry to go through that awning, but they're going to enjoy every minute of it. And I sort of get the vibe of somebody who is just really enjoying their time. Maybe that you're really enjoying your time with somebody else. Seven of Hearts is a card of wish fulfillment. So it does feel to me like for a lot of you, this is going to be about a romantic partner that feels like a dream come true in some way, and that you've sort of reached a new level of commitment with them. It's also something that's really incredibly healing with the Temperance card down here, and I really love this card. So, you know, it may be that this relationship kind of healed you in some way. If it's not related to a relationship, it could be just that you've gone through some sort of healing in your life. You may have recently made some changes to your diet or to, cut out, I want to say drinking or smoking. Maybe you didn't cut those things out completely, but maybe you've just cut back on them. This is a card that's associated with moderation. It's like when you temper water, right? You add a little bit of hot, a little bit of cold, like you kind of, not too much hot, not too much cold. So it's about avoiding extremes. So it's not that like, oh, you need to cut something out completely, but maybe you just need to have less of it kind of thing. But it feels really, really wonderful, Capricorn. Like it, whatever this is, however this is playing out for you, it feels like you've come into this is really positive energy, like you're taking better care of yourself. You're feeling really good about your place in life, about the people around you who have joined you. This card as well, Seven of Hearts, in the tarot reading, it's about options, about having a lot of options and not knowing like necessarily which one to choose, which can be a little overwhelming, but it's very positive because obviously it's better to have a lot of options available to you than none. So, if you don't know what to choose, that's a better problem to have than, not having options. So it could be in work, could be in love, but it feels like it's about people and it feels like you've made a good choice here and you're in a good spot, feels healthy. And if you're somebody who had a lot of unhealthy relationships in the past, it's like you're coming into this time in your life where you're actually in a healthy relationship, where there's like an equal give and take, and this person is actually, there for you, and you can have deep conversations with them. And it's like, wow, I mean, this is what it feels like to be in a healthy relationship. That's cool, You may even be in a relationship with somebody who has this King of Diamonds kind of vibe about them. Some of you, not all of you, because this is your present energy, right? So you could be with somebody like this. You could be acting like this. It's a general reading. Take it how it resonates. I hope you enjoy the cats at the very least. I'm going to look at what's motivating you. We've got the Three of Swords here. This card is actually really hilarious. We've got the Three of Hearts. We've got the Seven of Hearts again, the Seven of Cups. So this is interesting. Because this showed up as your past energy, and I was talking about the options, and now this is showing up as a motivation. So I can't help but think that some of you are still choosing. Like maybe you had a lot of options come into your life recently and you haven't actually chosen yet. You want to be sure to make the right choice. It's here twice. So which hat is that rabbit going to choose? Is it the one with the ghost in it? Is it the one with the snake? Is it the one with the wreath? But then there's like a picture of a skull. So it's, it's about making the right choice. Choosing your friends and lovers. You may have even, recently made a choice, but now you're like, reviewing your friend group. The Three of Hearts, very, very positive card. Like it's a good omen, but it's also about friendship. It's about getting together with people, enjoying yourself, having drinks with your girlfriends or your guy friends. So I am getting a sense of friendship, but I am also getting a sense of like romantic partners because it's so many hearts in this line here, right? So many hearts. So do some of you have a lot of options and have just gotten into a relationship with somebody else and I feel like you're still reviewing your options? Oh, that's confusing. That's confusing. This card is funny. It's really funny. Usually this card is a lot scarier looking than it is in this deck. So this is a Three of Swords. And here we see this cat who's kind of a bit of a rascal. He's just come and just taken a bite out of somebody's heart. And he seems like the kind of cat that would just show up and you'd feed him and you'd pet him and you'd fall in love with him and then he'd just take off again. And then you'd find out that your neighbor is feeding him and he's been hanging out over there. And then you're like, okay, well that sucks, but you know what, whatever, I'll get over it. And then 3 months later he comes back and he kind of steals your heart again, right? Like just takes a bite right out of it and then he's gone again. So that's the impression I get from this card. It hurts, but it's also kind of adorable and hilarious. And it's only a 3. It's not like a 10 of swords, right? So it's like there's a little bit of an upset. Somebody kind of, ran off with your heart, and it's sort of beautiful, but it's also painful at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Like, there is something beautiful about having your heart broken because it means that you're vulnerable and you're open and you allow somebody to get close enough to your heart, which is a beautiful thing, right? And feeling that sadness, it sucks, but it's also kind of like what opens you up, to creativity and to vulnerability and reminds you that you're human and maybe you can make a poem about it or a breakup song or I don't know what. I think emotions are great. I'm not a fan of like suppressing them. I think that we need to use them as fuel to do beautiful creative things. So why do I say that? Because again, this is the line of what's motivating you. It's like there's there's all this joy in these happy times with friends and with lovers, but there's also a little mix of heartbreak, and there's this feeling of like wanting to make the right choices, going forward. So I feel like love is on your mind a lot, Capricorn, and could you be using it for some creative endeavor? Yeah, you can. But I also kind of feel like your life is a work of art right now, with the Temperance here. This card, by the way, in the Thoth deck by Aleister Crowley, which is the first deck that I learned how to read. So I learned that system first before the Rider-Waite. This card is actually called Art. And it's all about, combining forces, combining fire and water to make something beautiful, like this idea of alchemy. Like, so that's why I think of the idea, you get your heart broken and then you write a beautiful song about it. And then that song is a hit and you make $1 million. I mean, not everyone can do that. But in a less obvious sense, it's like we get our hearts broken and then it gets us closer in touch with what we want, right? We have to look at, well, why did that hurt me so much? Like, what is it about this person that I think that I want? What is it about me that I want? Like, what qualities do I need to bring into my life? And what kind of people do I need to bring into my life? And it feels like you are like molding your life and the people in it and are really putting a lot of heart into it. I don't know. Is this confusing? It's confusing for me too, but I feel like I'm onto something here. Let's look at your future. What's coming in for you, Capricorn? We have the Tower. There's a little bit of shake-up going on. We've got the Eight of Swords again. We have the Page of Swords. Okay, so I'm sensing a little stress here. We've got the Eight of Swords twice, right? So there's this feeling of like restriction, like I said before, feeling trapped. Some kind of revelation, some kind of sudden change with the Tower. So that's something to keep your eyes out for. And we do have a spy. Interesting. Somebody watching you, somebody curious to know what your next move is. This card can also be about you learning something new. Like your inquisitive nature. If it's your energy, you could be spying on somebody else for sure, but you could also be studying a new subject and putting what you learned into practice. And sometimes the way that we learn things is really quite suddenly. Like with the Tower here, some kind of new information coming in. Sometimes this card shows up when people leave their jobs suddenly or get fired, or somebody has to leave their house, suddenly, like if there's a flood or a fire. I don't want to scare you. It's not always that though. It can just be like a shocking revelation. It can be somebody saying something shocking or revealing a secret. Just something, developing suddenly that you didn't really see coming, and it's not necessarily bad. Usually when the Tower card shows up, there's something that needs to either be revealed or something that needs to be removed from your life in order to make your life better. So it's always for your betterment. The card that comes after the Tower is the Star, and that is all about renewal and like a rebirth and like a new dream for the future and allowing things to grow. I'm sorry about the sounds of the background. We actually ordered some food on DoorDash and I think it just showed up. Anyway, maybe some of you are going to order some food too. I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. Sorry about that interruption. So I don't want to scare you with this Tower energy here, but it's just something shocking that's going to come up. And you know what? Maybe we should see what's under the Tower. Maybe we have another clue about what that's about. Justice. So something's going to be set right, but it may be in a shocking way. I'm almost getting a sense too of like, if you work with someone who really isn't working out and they suddenly quit like without notice, it may be for the best, because you don't have to fire them. You don't have to get rid of them. You don't have to do anything, right? But it is shocking, right? It could be like if you have a roommate and you haven't really been getting along with your roommate and it's awkward, but you don't really know how to ask them to leave or what to do, and you're just kind of avoiding them. But then suddenly, they just move out and it's like, oh my God, well now I have to deal with the situation. But in the end, it's for the best. You know what I mean? Even like it could even be a falling out with a friend, but who's really not a very good friend. And suddenly one day they kind of just tell you what's on their mind and you're like, wow, okay. Never really thought you saw it that way. But again, it's for the best. There are new friends coming in. There are many, many options. The world is large. and full of multitude. So with the Justice card here in the upright, whatever it is that's happening, that's going to be kind of shocking or a little bit, a little bit upsetting. It might not be super shocking. It may feel like you're being knocked out of your roost, suddenly, or somebody is. But it is going to be for the best. Justice upright for me is a card that tells me that things are going well. And I know that things are going well because we also have the Wheel of Fortune upright. We also have the King of Diamonds right smack dab in the middle. We got the Three of Hearts over here. So everything is good. I don't want to scare you with that card. Everything is good. But just be aware. Keep your eyes open. Maybe have a contingency plan. If you have a kind of a funny feeling about certain situations in your life or certain people, just, never hurts to have a backup plan. I don't know. I'm going to get some advice here. We've got the Eight of Cups. We have the Eight of Clubs. And we have the King of Wands. So I'm getting a sense of ambitious, like an ambitious man here, or ambitious vibe, ambitious male energy. It's okay. Take it how it resonates. It's kind of saying, like focus on your dreams, focus on your work and on your ambitious. I did get this vibe of somebody who is very entrepreneurial and very ambitious and very hardworking earlier. And there is some somewhat confusing energy in here about maybe emotional upsets, some confusion, maybe with relationships. And I feel like they have the potential to be really distracting. And the advice line over here is telling me, like, don't run away from your responsibilities with the Eight of Cups. Like, there's work to be done. You can see that there is there is a sink full of dishes, and we have a cat here wanting to paw at the water. And I feel like the water represents emotions. In tarot, water is emotions. And somebody wanting to play with emotions or wanting to get in there. Like it feels like there's some drama, and there may be the possibility of spending a little too much time focused on the drama and getting sidetracked from what has to be done. And for some of you, it could actually be dishes. You could actually just need to clean your house. I get this card a lot when, like, I really need to clean my house. But I don't think that is what it is. I think that this is about your work. It's just about kind of staying focused. And you may need to kind of switch tracks at some point this month and maybe change the way you do things or change the people with whom you do it in some way. There's some kind of change that needs to be made. But you need to focus, stay ambitious, stay quick on your toes. This is the communication card, Eight of Wands. Lots of communication. It can also be about travel, quick travel, like short distances, but there are a lot of conversations that need to be had. There are people you need to chat with. There's moves that need to be made. And you are going to be your best this month when you are in the vibe of this ambitious and very capable king energy. And I see two kings, by the way, in your reading. That can speak of a partnership. For some of you, there may be some issue around a partnership this month, or there may be a new partnership coming in. So it's not going to be for all of you, but just keep that in mind. For others, we have 3 8s here. There could be some sort of legal settlement to be had. What else do we have here? Let's see. Oh, wait, 3 8s? We have 4 8s. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that it for 8s? Okay, we have 4 8s. So strong possibility of a legal settlement or even like an insurance settlement. That could be what this is about. Who knows? You may be hearing about that. But don't let it knock you off track. You could be very lucky this month as well. 4 8s, Wheel of Fortune, Justice card. Like, I do think that things are going to go in your favor, but you may be a little shocked and you may feel like you're temporarily knocked off track a little bit. So the message here is to kind of keep on track, focus on your goals, focus on your work, what needs to be done. Don't let anybody chip away at your ambition or at your focus. You Capricorns are very strong. You are the hardest working people in the zodiac. You're incredibly capable in business. But it doesn't mean that you don't have a soft side and that you don't get emotional sometimes, or that you don't get hurt, when people are cruel or take advantage of you, right? So don't let them, because there may be some of that this month. But On the whole, though, I gotta say, it looks really positive. Like you've got a lot of really positive cards in your deck, and I feel like you guys are doing well, probably better than most. That's just kind of the vibe that I'm getting. So keep on it, and remember the message of temperance. It seems like I said earlier, you were doing a lot of healing. You were taking really good care of yourself. So keep on that vibe. You know, the better care you take of yourself on the inside, you know, the better you look on the outside, and the better you feel, and the better your work is, and the more successful you are. And it's all good, right? It's all good. Okay, I'm going to take an oracle card to close out your reading. This is from the Rebecca Campbell Work Your Light Oracle. So what messages do I have for my Capricorns? What do they need to hear this month? Oh, that came out quickly. Akasha. Your guidance is definitely guided. Okay, there's actually 2 cards here. Are there? Oh, there are 3. Wow, okay. A little sticky. So we've got your guidance is definitely guided from the Akasha. Whether or not you believe in that, I don't know too much about that, but this thing called the Akasha Records, apparently that keeps the information about all of the souls in the past lifetimes and the lessons we need to learn. So this card is saying that there is something you need to learn, and you need to be open to that guidance. Listen to your gut. There may be some guides trying to communicate with you to keep you on the right path. We have align your life. And it's asking you what is not aligned or needs to change. This is making me think of the Temperance card here. And we have break the chain. It's about ancestral patterns, healing, and rewriting the future. And this is actually making me think of the Tower card a little bit. So be open to guidance, my Capricorns, and take good care of yourselves. This month, I feel like it's going to be really important that everything is healthy. Everything is on the up and up in your life. If you can see these, I'll put them a little bit closer. Your habits, the food that you're eating, you know, that you're getting a little bit of exercise every day, you're getting out into nature, that your relationships are healthy too, you know, that you're being honest with people and that they're being honest with you, and that, you know, the people who are in your life and that you're spending the most amount of time with, the people you're working with or living with, that, you know, that they want to be there and that you want to be there. And I think you're going to be reviewing that, and don't be afraid to make changes, and don't be afraid to, like they say, break the chain. You know, if people aren't meant to be on your path and your gut is telling you, or your guides, that they're not, you know, don't be afraid to send them on their way gently, because you can. You absolutely can. You're not as trapped as you may think you are. My dear Capricorn, I wish you all the best this month. If this was helpful in any way, then I'm glad. I'm happy. If it wasn't, I hope it was entertaining. And thank you for joining me here on my channel. I hope to see you again really soon. If I don't see you before then have a very happy Halloween, and all the best to you. Okay.